See you soon.
Thanks, Matty.
Man, I got to say something. The biggest takeaway was Dre Greenlaw. I don't know why, Larry. I'm no doctor. I don't got a white coat. He was saying maybe second half of the season.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
I was like, whoa.
Medicine's changed over time. They used to be you tore an Achilles, it was a career ender. Then you tore an Achilles, it was a year and a half. I think of Achilles as being a year-long injury minimum.
Okay.
So he suffered it on February the 11th. I got to think that he won't play at all until after Thanksgiving. I mean, people suggesting that he could come back after 6 weeks, in the middle of October or something like that. That just seems so unlikely. And I would hate to see him rush back and have a recurring.
Right. You don't want to risk anything.
Yeah. So I would say if you're the 49ers, probably the healthy approach is assume you're getting nothing and anything you get is gravy. I would not depend on Dre Greenlaw this year.
All right, wow.
I would let him surprise me.
Yeah, no doubt. I like that. And you know what? I'm going to step back, too, because the 5-1, Guru, you always worry. I'm just asking questions about things that we don't have answers to. And I remember with Brock Purdy, Larry, I was like, oh, my God. And the dude came back like the bionic man, Steve Austin. So you know what? I'm going to slow my roll. And like you said, medicine is different, science is different. Hopefully they get him back out there. But Larry, you talk about the greatness of Fred Warner, and you want to talk about the 2024 Niners and how good they can be. I just feel like nobody's been talking about that injury and not having his services available at the outset when you host New York. Like, that's a big deal.
Oh, well, I mean, and not only that, I mean, the 49ers struggled to stop the run last year.
Man.
You could make an argument that Eric Armstead, Dre Greenlaw, and Talanoa Hufanga might be their three best run defenders. They're not going to have any of those guys. I mean, Armstead's moved on. Greenlaw's out. Hufanga's likely he's trying to get back for week 1, but he may not be back. I mean, this was a team that struggled to stop the run in the preseason and in the postseason and only didn't struggle in the regular season because of their offense. To me, that's the number one question for the 49ers going into this year is can they stop the run without Armstead, without Greenlaw, and without Hufanga, at least to start?
Are you a gambling guy, Larry? I should know this.
Yeah.
So I got this from the boss. If you had to bet $1,000 right now, go up to the counter, you, Evan, and Carter.
Okay.
And the bet would be, will Kyle Shanahan win a Super Bowl as the San Francisco 49ers head coach? How would you place that bet?
I'm betting on Shanahan to win it.
Okay.
Kyle Shanahan's a very good coach. They haven't gotten it done. He is partially responsible and to blame for them not getting it done.
I appreciate that honesty.
Yeah, I mean, Debo was the MVP at halftime of Super Bowl 54. He touched the ball twice in the second half. That was a gaffe. He didn't touch the ball hardly at all in the fourth quarter against the Rams. That was a gaffe. Not knowing the rules in overtime last year was a Shanahan gaffe. Not challenging Devontae Smith's catch in Philly was a gaffe.
I thought I was the only one. Right.
You know what I mean? These are all mistakes. And Shanahan's got to own it. But I look at Kyle Shanahan the exact same way that I looked at Andy Reid in Philly. Great offensive coach, one of the NFL's better coaches, is going to get hired no matter what happens in Philly, and yet he never won the big one. But then guess what? They kicked him to the curb, said he could never win the big one. Now he's won 3.
Yeah.
And I think Shanahan, if he gets better quarterback play with Purdy and can still have a running game and a defense, I think he is going to climb the mountain. It took Reid. He had a 13-year run.
And he
Philly.
was there, 5 NFC championship visits and 1 Super Bowl.
So Kyle's had 7. So, I would say if Kyle doesn't win a Super Bowl in 5 years, the Niners probably will move off of him. But that's 5 years, and there are people that feel like Shanahan's not going to get it done. And I understand it. I think the criticism of Shanahan's warranted. But let's not get crazy about this.
Okay.
If the 49ers fired him tomorrow, there'd be like 3 other NFL head coaches fired, 5 other college coaches fired. All these people would be out after Shanahan.
There's no doubt about it.
He's a very good coach.
I appreciate how you itemized the situations or examples where he could have been better. And I appreciate that. But Larry, I got to be honest. I know how great he is. I called and referred to him as the boy genius. My bet would be not. And the reason is the injury to Greenlaw. Although it happened in the Super Bowl, the Niners since 2019, they've had a lot of things go their way. They've earned a lot of things and made them go their way. He's the mastermind behind this offense and going to get McCaffrey. I don't believe too many other NFL coaches would have had that vision to make Deebo Samuel the dog he was pre-McCaffrey, because it was Deebo left, right, up the middle, and he was up for it. Larry, the reason I wouldn't make the bet, and I'm being real, man, and I'm trying to make the correlation with that Greenlaw injury and Hufanga and now no Armstead, and those were decisions, Armstead, but I just feel like at some point, what if you get bad luck in regard to just the Red Cross, the health, the things the Giants are dealing with? Those are the type of things
They've had that. They had 20 guys on the IR in whatever year that was.
To a degree. But now you're talking about coming into this season and Fred Warner's running mate and all pro, he's not there. And you talked about when he was there, we saw some teams, and I'm going to Arizona game at Arizona, giving up 230 yards on the ground. And no Hufanga, and we'll get into it on the other side later. I just like, it's not Kyle, it's just the health of the team. And we'll talk about it more on the other side.
Yep.
What's coming up next on the game is presented by Fremont Bank, celebrating 60 years of full-service banking with no compromises.